the coolest Pokemon is Combuskin. He is my favorite, and I think
Combuskin looks like a penis.
You and Gut would get along lunch because his favorite is
no,
Blaziken.
I don't
my
like
favorite, too.
Blaziken. I don't like his pants. I don't like his hair. Why does he have flame pants?
Lunch-
It's so ridiculous.
I don't
Lunch-
like Blaziken's pants.
No, he looks.
Lunchbillion
Lunch-
2019.
Launch specifically likes his Pokemon penis shape.
Shut the fuck up. He's a little chicken guy with little chicken feet. He's got a cool feather on top of his head. He's cool. And then Blaziken doesn't even look like he's in the same species. He's like not even a bird. He's like a man with like long flowing hair. He looks nothing like Torch. Like some Pokemon, like they start cute, then become a slightly cooler version of that, and then they turn into a giant badass monster thing. But like Blaziken is not the cool badass monster type. He's just like a guy with like.
And welcome back to Bros in a Landfill, the only show where our Pokemon gets us age restricted.
Oh!
Wow!
Yeah, of course he looks like a dick.
But I guess that's better.
He's a chicken. He's literally a cock. Okay, so just like it's part of his general
So we're probably
design.
doing the intro?
Your host for this week is Cock Chicken Lunch.
I like this chicken. Okay, he's the best Pokemon.
Tits Chew Tar.
Wait, what?
Like Pikachu with tits. I don't know.
Oh!
No! F this. We're not doing this intro. I refuse. I refuse. I will delete my audio.
The literal snake, Dizzy.
We're not doing this
It's
intro.
too late.
Start
You
over.
can't stop the tide.
Too late. You're a
because-
literal snake, Dizzy. You don't have arms.
And me, the old ass pervert watching the show.
Oh God.
Try.
This
We're
is
not
getting
having
so
this
much worse.
conversation, especially not after the bros talk we just did. We're not doing
This
this.
has been
Try.
a wonderful thing to jump into.
Yeah. So
I'm leaving if you do
I'm sorry.
this.
So you guys are.
I'm leaving if
No.
this is what we go with.
This is what we're going with, apparently. We don't have time
this
to
is
do
what
We're
another
going
one.
with this. We started the episode.
Yeah.
How long are we gonna dawdle?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Okay. So Pokemon Direct.
Pokemon Direct
This
just
is the
happened.
first time we've ever.
And some of us like Pokemon.
We just started this episode with a cold open. Has that been a thing before?
No, but I like it.
Yes, it has
okay.
actually.
It has.
Yeah. There's a new direct. They showed the new Pokemon. The new Pokemon. There's Sword and there's Shield, and it's in fucking England
It's
or something.
Britain.
Wait. By the way, are we all
Yeah,
recording?
It's great because now we can play We Happy Few with Pokemon.
By the way, are we all recording?
I'm
No.
recording. Are we not all recording?
I
Are you
was.
recording?
I'm not recording. I never record actually. I just transmit my thoughts to the
Shut the
viewer
fuck up.
psychically.
But yeah. Also,
Okay.
we'll sync again at the end because I don't
Out
think
of
we
my
synced
head.
Tar, but that's another side.
That's fine.
Okay, so as long as Tar syncs with me, we're fine because I've got the full audio track here.
Of course.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, all of you guys get to hear podcast magic. Yay! Back to Pokemon.
Yeah, this new Pokemon
so-
game. It's in the UK, and they've added monkeys.
We've had monkeys
What do you
for a
mean? There's
long
always
time
been
now.
monkeys.
for the
Don't you
first time
mean-
ever,
don't you-
monkeys.
Don't you mean they've added a Grookey?
The brand new features: blue monkey, green monkey, and white monkey.
Excuse me.
They all have the same head.
Water lizard, bunny, monkey. Excuse me. Did you watch the?
They're all
direct?
monkeys. Shut up. They all have a big, stupid oval head and a happy face and little climby arms and legs. They're monkeys.
This is Super Pokeball.
Wait, does that mean I'm a monkey?
Adventure.
Because I've got a round head and climbing arms and legs. Am I a Pokemon
Yes.
monkey?
Did you read
Well,
fucking
I mean,
Darwin?
evolutionarily speaking,
Exactly. Have you read? Have you
if you-
read science?
I read Scientology.
we
God.
are at 100% today.
This is the.
Yeah.
I'm
at
glad I
20.
decided to jump
F
in
you.
last minute.
Okay. So I think what
This is the
Launch-
worst episode we've
I
ever
think
done.
you
the
mean
entire
best.
podcast.
Okay, so Lunch is mentioning they all look like monkeys, and by going off the 3D models, they absolutely do, because the 3D models are absolutely terrible as compared to the 2D art.
Yeah, going off the way that they actually look
you
in
have to-
the video game, which it is. So they all look like monkeys.
It's a movie. What are you talking about?
What?
It's a book. It's a light
Pokemon
novel.
power.
Haven't you already read Pokemon Sword and Shield? Game of Thrones?
Landfill theory. Pokemon is Game of Thrones.
Okay, that'll be the next one.
Oh god. I don't want to know this theory.
So So the first thing I thought when I saw the region is like, okay, yes, this is obviously England. Then I'm like, wait a second. I've criticized the Unova region for literally being a circle. This fucking region is just a straight line up. And I hope the actual like routes in the map doesn't literally just zigzag up, because like it'd be cool if they actually like do more of a circle around it, because but I'm like, if this is literally just a straight line up, I'm gonna be like, this is a really boring region to travel through.
Kalos was a figure 8.
Yeah, but
it looked like X and Y. I was gonna say I got a lot of X and Y vibes from the trailer.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I don't know if it's because of the
well, I'm not on the level of Pokemon fandom where I can discuss like what shape the map is in. It's like I prefer my maps to be in curves
visually,
and then with
like,
little squiggles and little dots.
I just like my maps to be
the player, the starting house, the locations that you went to, the framing, the lighting, the ice cave.
Do you want to know why? Probably because like England is like directly north of France, so and probably in Pokemon geography, Kalos is directly north of Kalos.
Kalos is directly north of Kalos. Try 2019.
Yeah, northern Kalos.
Fuck.
Well, I mean, Johto is west of Kanto.
Yeah. Well, the Galar region, or however you pronounce that, is going to be directly north of Kalos. So it's it having similar architecture. It's probably all based around that European design. So
boy, aren't you guys so looking forward to the no doubt return of the best characters, the best running characters in Pokemon? Those two dorks that work for Professor Sycamore that you probably forgot existed.
Oh my god, that sounds like someone.
They've been in every game since X and Y. Look it up.
Fuck. I'm just waiting for Looker to come again and have crazy antics.
Guys, I don't know what you're talking about. The last Pokemon game I played is probably Pokemon Snap, okay? I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Whoa. Dude, if you love Pokemon Snap, you'll love Pokemon Sun and Moon because it has photo pictures to be taken.
Yeah, but then you have to like battle people and stuff. I just want to take the pictures.
Is horribly arbitrary and pointless.
And I want a man to judge my photo taking ability.
Well, you don't get that. You get Twitter.
Yeah, that's right.
Oof. Oh
my God, which is a lot of people judging your photos.
And saying the exact same things over and over again.
So,
I want to see a mod of Pokemon Snap where, like if you do like a bad picture, Professor Oak is like, "You should eat shit and die. This is pathetic. You should put down your phone."
You play Pokemon Snap. Have you played any other Pokemon games before that?
I've never beaten a Pokemon game. When I was a kid, I played Pokemon on emulators. Game Boy Advances a couple of times, and I enjoyed them. On your computer. But I never actually completed one. Though I often didn't beat games when I was a kid. So it's been a while since I really gave it a proper go.
You know, it's funny. Lunch. Like you say, you never beat a Pokemon game. My immediate response was going to be, oh, then you should play Pokemon X and Y. It's stupidly easy. But then I remembered, I never beat X and Y more than once because I couldn't be bothered to.
Probably a bad
suggestion.
So
it's probably the hardest one to play.
I mean, I've been finding Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon incredibly easy. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's so easy. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is another game that I have a hard time beating a second time because I can't be asked.
I didn't finish
my
Sun
time
and Moon
is
because
worthless,
I can't be asked. I didn't even finish. I didn't even open up Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon because I can't be asked.
Sell it.
So
sell it. I could do a whole podcast on how much Ultra Moon is.
You
bad.
did. It was our first episode.
Oh
God! Don't go see that shit. That's a train wreck.
I want to do a retake of that.
Yeah, that'd be actually fun. It'd be fun to do a retake.
Since we've immediately dropped the topic of the direct, can we take a left turn? And I just want to talk about how, last year I was living with my brother for a bit, and he just totally was just rewatching the entire Pokemon anime, like every day. The day would start
from start to finish, Gen 1 to Gen whatever.
No, he got in. Well, I mean, he watched a few seasons,
7.
but like it was like every day. And I just wake up to the Pokemon theme song, and I was like, "What year is it?" I mean, it's a great song.
You've
It's to be
time traveled.
honest, it's not a bad
Which
kid
Pokemon
show.
theme?
What do you mean the Pokemon theme, man? The fucking I want to be the very best.
Okay. I mean, there's
Like no one ever was.
fucking multiple.
Yeah,
man.
but that's I said the Pokemon theme
Speaking of
The only one that's worth remembering.
because it's awesome.
speaking of the Pokemon show, I wonder it's gonna be interesting going from interesting and weird going to the new region because Pokemon Sun and Moon doesn't have a very it's just slice of life fun bullshit. I love watching it, but Sun and then Sword and Shield seem to be a lot more competition orientated. You see these stadiums that are reminiscent of football fields, soccer fields.
I genuinely thought he was going out to play soccer for a minute. I was like, "What is happening?"
Yeah, no, me too. Me too. So, and I actually think that's a cool detail that they're because
What if
What?
Pokemon
England.
sock football is the
Yeah.
new Pokemon
Yeah.
contest for all the 5 people who do those?
No, it's just gonna become Inazuma 11 with Pokemon.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a soccer RPG that's
Same.
big in Japan and England, and only one game came out in the West, and it was a remake of the first one on the 3DS.
Okay.
And it's really, you can tell it's the first game because it's really rough.
Great.
I just lost everyone.
Me too.
I know.
No,
Okay, we're
I'm
back.
still
Cool.
here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Neat. Okay.
That game's by the Layden guys, right?
Let me ask you something then, because I got into a fight with someone on our Discord,
no.
and I don't feel mentally right, so I'm just gonna go here and cry about it on a podcast
no.
because I'm a mature adult.
That's right.
And the thing is that I never felt like I was saying the right words.
Well,
when I
don't
was
worry. It's
talking
better. It's
to
better
him.
to share.
And I was gonna.
It's better to share these things on a
Okay.
podcast rather than Twitter.
Oh.
Well, basically, what I was gonna
Because
say
no one
was,
can retweet your comment here and make mean comments about it.
You know what? Actually, F it. This isn't the appropriate.
Well, now
No,
it's gonna be
no,
awkward
this
because now
I
you
am
started
gonna
and then
be
went out of it.
mature
You gotta
adult.
do it now.
Okay, maybe just frame the.
All right, let
frame
me
what you're
let me
gonna
ask you this. Let me ask you this. The Pokemon anime, you and Lunch can probably compare this better because I never watched the Pokemon anime, but to my understanding, no, actually, this requires too much. This requires too much context. Actually,
Has
this
this
is
ever
a
stopped?
pointless
Has this ever stopped the
discussion.
podcast before?
Yeah, I've stopped.
Having to explain.
Well, we don't have a
True,
lot of time
okay.
this
No, just-
week.
I'm glad we.
We're fishing for we're fishing for topics. Just
Did you ever notice that the new Gen 8 starters all have the exact same head shape?
Yeah, they all kind of look like monkeys.
I said that already.
Lunch literally said that at the beginning of the
Oh,
podcast.
yeah. Haha.
I want to.
Okay. Okay. Other things to say about
30
Pokemon.
goddamn episodes of this podcast. How have we devolved?
One of the
this bad?
Pokemon
it's because-
has a rectangle on his face, and it's stupid. That is my take.
It's just a slice of cheese.
It's literally whatever.
This is
You
the
guys
problem
ever think-
with
you
modern
guys ever
Pokemon
think how-
designs, right? You can't just put stripes and fucking geometric shapes on things and have it seem like, oh yeah, that's how a reasonable animal would be
Well, I
born.
think- well, it's actually
Well, the thing about Pokemon that's kind of funny is that because it's been going on for almost 7 or 8 generations, things look weird in its
Yes.
own universe.
Yeah.
Like, you look at the simplistic Charmander versus Chespin, and you're like, hey, how come Charmander's really, skinny and slim and smooth, and he just has a circle and a fiery tail? And then you look at Chespin, he's got quills and triangles and beaver teeth and,
And a ball
advanced
sack
feet and
for a
green
torso.
hoodie.
Advanced
Funnily enough, I think especially in the 3D model area because things have gotten a lot rounder and this once the 3D models come around. The
Yeah.
Pokemon Sun and
Pixels
Moon,
are square.
Pokemon Sun and Moon starters really because of the great differences of species. Despite them just being a bunch of circles, they really managed to make them look unique and interesting. Where with
Look at the Sun and Moon starters versus the Generation 2 starters, and it's like, yeah, this looks weird. They
Oh, yeah.
almost don't belong in
Absolutely.
the same universe.
Well, it's because
And that's,
of the
the weird
change from
thing.
2D sprites to 3D models because you can't. It's harder to make those sorts of 2D sprites look good. The design theory between a 3D sprite and a 3D model and a 2D sprite is drastically different.
Here's
don't
another
know if
follow-up
I-
question for you, talking about designs.
I
Are there
know.
any Pokemon
Much of the
that you
opposite.
can think of that don't look like they belong in Pokemon?
Look, I think the chasm between
Mr.
the
Mime?
first couple of generations of Pokemon and the new ones
Really?
is like massive. Like I think the last couple of Pokemon games look internally consistent together, and the first and the ones on the other end look fine together. But in the same universe, it's ridiculous. Like, and I don't think it's just because it's gone 3D. It's like stuff like the weird geometric like lines and stripes and stuff. It's
artists
Well,
have changed.
well,
the times have
you know-
changed. They keep adding more and more to these new Pokemon, so they look more and more visually
Well, it's not-
distinct. And then the old Pokemon are a lot more simplistic, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it means that you have two completely different, almost
Well,
art styles
Absolutely,
of
absolutely.
creatures in the same
But
world.
it's not just the Pokemon. The art styles and designs for each generation have steadily evolved and gotten more complicated. If you threw in the sorts of designs from the first generation until generation like 8, well, I guess like for Sun and Moon, like the generation 1 Pokemon don't fit into the world of generation like Sun and Moon as well as the Sun and Moon Pokemon do, because they're designed to fit in that region. And especially
I don't even.
because
I think it's more that they don't mesh with each other.
I mean, that's fair. I just feel like, especially with Sun and Moon, the Pokemon were designed to look like they are a part of that region specifically, match that design style. Because Gen 8 was a big departure from the general Pokemon design.
just
was
ultimately, I
7.
think it
Seven,
muddies
yeah,
the concept of like what Pokemon looks like as a franchise. Like,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's sort of internally consistent, that
Well-
in this region they all look like weird DeviantArt stripy creatures, and this region they look like good character designs. It's
Wow.
weird.
I mean, in general, like I started playing in Gen 3, so I'm like more accustomed to some of the more complex designs. And looking back to Gen 1 is kind of weird to me because I didn't grow up playing Gen 1. And like the fact that they are so simple does make them almost come off as fan works.
That's
Where the same
funny.
Thing is,
Well, like
where the same, but to the same extent, these over-designed like Gen 8 Pokemon look like fan works as well, because it's not where I grew up playing Pokemon. Like I distinctly grew up in Gen 3 and 4 as the games I played when I was a kid, and that's kind of what set my expectations of what Pokemon look like.
Well, this
guess,
has been
like,
an interesting lesson.
While we're
in
talking about
perspective.
Pokemon designs,
Yeah.
we're
Okay,
talking
but
about
can we
Pokemon
all
designs
agree-
too. It's like
Can we all
Okay.
agree that Pokemon peaked in Gen 5?
I don't even know what. Like, I don't know enough. I don't know when that is.
That was a black and white. I didn't like black and white at all. Like I thought some of the stories.
I like. I think Pokemon peaked in Generation 3 because that's when it created the Pokemon formula that the rest of the games
I'd
had
act-
to follow.
I'd actually agree. I don't like the Hoenn region as a region, but I definitely think it's like that's where it peaked, and to a certain degree.
Generation 3 set the rules that Generation 4, 5, 6, and 7 all had to follow.
I could never finish a
And
Gen 3
that's
game.
what I say.
I can never
Because
go
you
back
hate
and
it or
finish a Gen
'cause
3
you
game.
just
I played
whatever.
I finished Ruby when I was a kid, but I've never been able to go back and finish a Gen 3 game. But to the same extent,
So this
Pokemon.
I've never been able to go
Sorry.
back and play. I haven't been able to go back and play 1 and 2. I start 2 and I just get sick of it. I get bored. Where
Yeah,
I think-
I played Heart Gold, and that game was very, very
Pokemon
boring.
Yeah.
peaked when Combuskin
I think-
came out.
That was
There you
Gen
go.
3.
That was
I
the
think
best
something
one.
with-
Also, I never beat it.
Part of what was interesting about Gen 3 is Gen 3 had a lot going on. And I think it really benefited from the two different teams competing with each other, because it made the world and plot seem a bit more diegetic rather than, oh, there's just this big bad Team Rocket that's doing things in the background.
I don't
I
know.
liked Team
I
Rocket.
think
They're
Gen
still
3
one of
has
my
like some really
favorites.
strong points and some really weak points. Like for starters, there's
no, there's
there's
definitely-
Combuskin, and then on the other hand, there's fucking Blaziken, who is an idiot and stupid, and has ridiculous
I
pants.
take offense to that.
Watch out! The elitists are coming.
Just look at his pants.
Hey.
They got flame patterns. It's like
Just-
something
okay.
an 8-year-old would wear.
It's
Or Jin
it's umbrella
Kazuma.
pants. Blaziken is Jim Kazuma
Who's
confirmed.
Jin Kazuma?
But that's stupid.
Who
Why
is
should a
Jin
cool
Kazuma?
chicken turn into
From Blaze Blue.
fucking Jin Kazama?
I have no.
When I think about
fucking
Kazuma, I
clue
think
who
about
Jin
Yakuza.
Kazama is.
He's the guy from Tekken.
He's from Tekken.
And he's got flame pants.
Oh,
yeah,
that
Or
guy!
he did have
Yeah,
flame
oh,
pants.
oh, okay.
And he had flame
Oh,
pants
didn't
like
you-
10 years ago. I don't know what he looks like now.
Okay, do you do... the problem,
Uncultured swines.
probably
Have you
means
never
Blaziken
seen
was-
Tekken Blood Vengeance?
that probably means Blaziken was designed off of Jim Kazuma.
Right.
That was probably the entire point.
Yeah, the entire point was to ruin Combuskin by turning him into some random
guess
ass
what I was
Tekken
gonna
character.
To make him so terrible that he becomes my favorite Pokemon.
Shut up.
You
just
you-
are trying to
why-
upset me.
Everyone I know likes Blaziken except
Yeah,
for
because everyone's
Lunch.
stupid.
I don't
Bla-
like Blaziken much either, but I mean,
Everyone I know likes Blaziken except Lunch.
They should have given Combuskin a Mega Evolution.
I'm just okay
He's the
with
cool
it.
one.
I'm just.
Blaziken is Mega Combuskin, though.
Shut up! No,
just
Mega
okay.
ones are different because they're
just okay.
caused by bonds between people and animals or something.
You know who needed to get a Mega Evolution?
Professor
The
Oak.
Ash Raichu.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
what?
Megatar coming in.
What does that even look
oh,
like?
shit.
Coming in hot.
Oh, fuck!
Oh
What benefits does Megatar get?
His flame.
He becomes Ghost and Dark and gets Wonder Guard.
He gets Wonder Guard from all of you Blaziken lovers.
I'm still weak to Fairy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Fairy sucks and no one likes it.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone likes fairies.
Actually, like I'm being silly, but like I had a friend in high school who hated fairy types to like such a passionate degree that I literally thought he was joking until I found out he wasn't. Like I thought he was playing the go over the top card and he was just doing it for laughs, and I was like, okay, that's real funny. And I kind of played along, but then I stopped laughing when I found out he was serious, and then he was crazy. He was like, I hate fairy types. I want to erase them from the game. I want to like rip them out of the game. I want to destroy them from the cartridge. I'll never use a fairy type ever, and anyone who uses them is trash. And I'm like, you tell him, brother. And then I found out, oh, you were serious? Like, dude, it's just a Pokemon type. That's all it is.
I'm a boy.
Wifumon would like to have a word with you.
Sounds like he has a problem with his masculinity.
Sounds like it. Not what girl thinks.
How do you know it was a guy?
My fucking Pokemon.
I know it might be a girl that has a problem with masculinity.
That's true.
I mean, it was a guy, but still.
Hey, did you just gender them?
Did you just gender that guy you know?
My friend was a
Pokemon podcast.
Yeah, let's.
My friend was a.
That was bad. Okay.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
So let's talking about the new generation, and also here's a hot take. I really hope they bring back. I might be the only person who thinks this, but I really hope that they bring back.
Sexy?
What? XD Gale Darkness HD, of course.
No, wait, please just get to
You were
it.
gonna say,
What do you want to bring back?
No, so when
What
I
are
was
we bringing back?
No, stop interrupting.
so when I
Sexy.
so in Diamond and Pearl, one of my favorite things to do was to shit around in the underground, set up traps, and bake my base. And I would love for underground and bases like 2.0.
Sorry, did I hear that right? You want in the new Pokemon game, you want to be able to shit underground?
Yes, make the underground feature from Gen 4 and give you the ability to
Maybe
shit
in
in
the
it.
E3 trailer.
Yeah, the reveal trailer starts off with your character like hunched down taking a shit in the underground. But you don't know, but you don't know it's the underground. You just see your character there, and then you see another player walk up and look over, give it a stink eye, and then walk next to them and take a shit.
Then you get the game explain video where it's like, we know that they're shitting, but where are they shitting?
And you find out like in the next reveal trailer that it's their friend's underground base because their friend walks in and he's like, "How did you get past my traps? I set them up so methodically." Yeah, no,
I'd like hyper realistic Pokemon underground traps. This is my base. Don't step on that panel. Oh god!
is this Kaizo Pokemon?
That's something you don't see in the Detective Pikachu trailer.
But in general, I would like a really good meta game to Pokemon, because in Gen 4 you had the underground, in Gen 5 you had like that dream world where you could go around and like fuck with players by battling
that no one
Yeah.
ever used.
Exactly.
Great feature.
And then in Gen 6,
but the dream world in Unova was terrible, where the underground was actually fun to shit around in because you.
and then in Generation 6 and onwards, you had inappropriate touching. Legit question: who actually used that? Because I never did.
I did it to cheat, so because they instantly.
I think I did it like twice.
Like I just did it to heal Pokemon of their abilities because I didn't give enough of a shit to take it seriously.
Don't worry, that guy made me uncomfortable too.
Like if you had like maximum affectionness with your Pokemon, which does not actually translate to friendship.
I wish relationships were
then
that
your
easy in
Pokemon
real
would
life.
get like. your
Gosh.
Pokemon would get more critical hits, would have an auto endure, and could self-cure status ailments. And I was like, look, I already have a party EXP share. I don't need
Yeah.
more easy mode.
Surprisingly, Sun and Moon still had some the original Sun and Moon still had some of the totem Pokemon were a bit difficult, but once you that's only if you weren't prepared. When I'm going through Ultra Sun and Moon, I know what's going on. I'm just like, this is easy peasy. I'm not I haven't used the
Ultra Sun and Moon is so pathetically just awful in every single regard. I wouldn't say it's the worst Pokemon game I've ever played, but it's pretty
It's
bad.
kind of weird because Sun and Moon to some extent was a bit more challenging, especially after X and Y. But Ultra Sun and Moon is a cakewalk.
It's so weird for me to talk about Ultra Sun and Moon too, because I liked Sun and Moon. Ultra Sun and Moon is literally Sun and Moon if it was bad. That's literally what it is.
I don't. How do you mess up?
It's so hard to
Like,
describe.
how do you mess up Sun and Moon?
It's like if you made a Sonic game, just
And it
you
was
took
Shadow.
Sonic 1.
And it was Shadow.
No. It's like if you took a Sonic game, just the original Sonic game, and then you inverted all of the controls and and gave your jump a delay, but it was the same game, and you're like, yeah, this is it's the same levels, it's the same music. I can learn the invert, but I could also just play the original.
Well, it's more like if
have
you
more
could play
fun.
Super Sonic from the beginning with unlimited, and the story made less sense.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because the thing with Ultra
like
Moon is
in this universe,
because in your analogy the game becomes harder, in this analogy the game becomes easier.
Okay, but the thing is, if we have Supersonic from the start, we still have to worry about that damn pit in Mystic Cave Zone.
Oh shit!
Oh
yeah,
no,
that's
the
more-
pit has a cover over the pit has a cover.
yeah, the pit is covered.
The pit is covered, or it's much smaller, and you have to be an idiot to fall into it.
The pit is covered completely with dirt, and the only way that you can get killed by it is if you stand on it for so long that Sonic gets bored and then jumps off the screen and then hits the dead zone.
Yeah, that's about it.
We're getting really into the specifics of how this
is-
Sonic 2 mod works.
Like the
Okay, let me.
the
What are you talking
only
about?
time I've had Pokemon KO so far is when I've purposely neglected healing them.
What the
And,
fuck
like,
is
put
wrong
them
with
bad
you?
types. I'm making the game more difficult for myself.
I
okay?
purposely allowed my Pokemon to get knocked out? That's brain damage.
because there's
I never
Pokestones
pet my
literally, like-
Pokemon and I let them get knocked out so I have more of a thrill.
Yeah, I'm playing. No, but I'm playing the PETA Nightmare version of
You're
the.
doing a
so
Renegade
Ultra Moon.
playthrough. You fuck.
Yeah, Renegade PETA Nightmare.
Oh,
Renegade for life.
I'm gonna have like lawsuits from PETA coming up in my door just from playing this Pokemon Ultra Moon.
Oh
like
my
this.
god. I've actually
That's fine, you'll
remind
get
me
lawsuits
later
from Vic
on a different
Mignogna, too.
podcast to talk about Kitten Squad.
Let me ask you something, Lunch, actually, because you like Sonic the
Uh-oh.
Hedgehog, and I'm trying to find a way to describe how weird Ultra Moon is, and how it's so weird to talk about it because it's such a weird kind of situation. Because like Pokemon Moon, I wouldn't say is the best Pokemon game ever, but it's definitely pretty well made. And then Ultra Moon is bad in such a bizarre way, and I'm like, from a Sonic analogy. It's like, imagine you're playing Sonic 2, then imagine they make Super Sonic 2, and then they remove a whole bunch of the enemies, but they're still like spikes. So you can still be hurt, and you can still die, but a whole bunch of enemies are gone.
Is that
Like, bosses die in less hits, and then when you meet Dr. Eggman, you find out that instead of turning flickies or animals into robots and making all this evil stuff to take over the world, he was actually doing it to combat the evil space monster,
well, I mean that'd be a
and then you kill the evil space
that'd be a
monster.
fucking twist.
But he still set the robots on the world, is the thing. And Sonic 2, the original Sonic 2, still exists, where he was the bad guy, and things seem to just make more sense and be a more fun game. And it's like, that's basically Moon versus
So
Ultra
do these
Moon,
games like
where
still
it's like,
exist in the same continuity? Like
No,
no,
absolutely
they're parallel universes.
Pokemon
In
has
fact, Ultra
parallel
Moon directly
universes
tells
now?
you it's an ultimate.
Does
Yeah,
it have like
Ultra Moon
does it have an
directly
alternate
tells you it's a
timeline where
parallel
Pikachu dies
universe.
against Ganon and then fucking the old versions go in, and then the special remakes are in the other timeline,
No.
and then XD
Oh god, we need
is
the
the
no,
Pokemon.
but
ultimate
Ultra-
We
continuity.
need.
No,
We
but
need-
you
let me
can
give you all
catch
the-
Linkmon.
Does this mean we need the Kanto Historia?
And when does it turn into Game of Thrones?
Let me give you the.
Sword and
Let me
Sword
give you the
and Shield.
hot. Let me give you the hottest, just baddest spoiler of them all. Because last week we spoiled Fire Emblem and Bayonetta. This week we're gonna spoil Pokemon Ultra Moon, specifically not the original Sun and Moon.
Okay.
Ultra Moon, when Parallel Universe Giovanni, boss of Team Rocket, shows up after finding a way to transcend the multiverse and become Satan. I'm not making this up, by the way. This sounds like bullshit, but it's real. And he teams up with all of the past villains throughout the entire Pokemon series, except they're all parallel universes where they all are armed with legendary Pokemon. And then they're like, we're going to take over the whole world. And then Ultra Moon protagonist pretty much becomes the ultimate Pokemon protagonist ever by single-handedly defeating all of the villains from all the previous generations by yourself. And then you beat Giovanni, and he's like, "Fine, I'll just piss off to another universe and go."
Oh, that's a
that.
happy ending.
I don't
It's like,
care.
well, my
Multiverse
universe is
theory
fine.
is real.
Man, what the? I was kidding when I asked about all these fucking dimensions and shit.
It's nonsense. It's all nonsense. And also, try this final battle against all the villains is the only time you will fight any difficulty because it's a massive level leap, and the legendary Pokemon are all bullshit.
so-
I had to toxic them all to
Wait, so you're
death.
saying not even the Elite Four is any challenge?
The Elite Four hasn't been a challenge since Gen 1. You people saying you never beat Pokemon Generation 3, I KO'd the entire Elite Four with a Swampert.
Holy
What's your
shit!
problem?
Look at this guy
we
swinging
gotta
his
we gotta
big
get good.
Pokemon dick around.
You
I
mean his
hate
big
Ultra
Pokemon
Moon.
Combuskin. And this has been Bros in a Landfill, signing off.
Fuck!